So, gaming on your 40s. It's a big topic, but I was thinking about it when I watched a couple kids playing video games and they were like, where's the keyboard? No, no, no. It was, where's the controller? Because they didn't know how to use a keyboard and mouse. And then they showed another example that they had the controller, but then they tried to poke the screen because they thought that it was a touch screen. So if you ever see those videos where kids are given like a cassette or even CD or something and they are told like, can you play this? I think it's a little bit silly to see how kids will find the obsolete technologies hard to use. But for us a little bit younger, no? A little bit older people, the new technologies might be difficult to use, so we are on the other side of the spectrum. And what I've noticed that when I game those retro games, for example, Mario, the Nintendo, I mean the original ones from the 8-bit or 16-bit, it's a little bit like, did I really like this so much back in the day? Because yes, they are great games, but at the same time, if you play them a little bit, they are quite unforgiving. And yeah, I know that there's plenty of hard games that go around, but I can just feel the frustration on my kid's mind when I was trying to pass a difficult level in Mario games back in the day, and yeah, you couldn't save your game, or you just have to wait until the lunch break is over and get back to where you were, but not turning off the console. Yeah, so I think there wasn't exactly a lot of how would you say, cheats or some kind of forums to go through and talk to people. There was some kind of Nintendo magazines or some kind of gaming magazines that showed this cheats, but you kind of have to just push through. And that's the kind of meme that I see many times, that the older generations were tougher and they didn't have so many easy ways out because they didn't have the communities, or they didn't have the other players to reach out to play the game, which might be true, I think. But at the same time, maybe I didn't have the community, maybe others did, I don't know. But I feel that many times the games were harder. It was like if you die 3 times, that's it. There wasn't a save game or some kind of, recovery spot or something. So, and of course, with the for example, in the Switch has the possibility of playing those older games, but at the same time, you can press 2 buttons at once and rewind when you don't do the jump right, or when you die in a spot that you want to save the game. You don't even have to save, you could just rewind a bit. And I actually played the recent Mario games from 1 to 3, and I used that a lot, so I just didn't have the patience anymore. I enjoyed the game, nothing about that, but at the same time they are very much like frustrating if you keep dying in the same spot, and you would have to go through the same level from the get-go, from the start. And I guess nowadays I enjoy more of the casual gaming with the let's say easy to just take and play, rather than sit for hours and hours on end to play. I don't know what could be a good example. Well, we played different games, like Civilization was a good thing, and now I don't know if I could have the, how would you say, concentration to play all those games that have so long, let's say, strategic lifespan spent, because of I'm doing other things and sitting down and playing. It should be kind of like relaxing event and not so much calculating on the odds or I don't know. Does it make sense that if you are more like me, that you kind of want to think about other stuff? For example, the small games in your computer, they are just a way of taking your mind out of things rather than trying to, I don't know, beat the high score. And at the same time, there is this kind of I don't know if it's a saying, but ruling that when you have a little bit like an ADD mind, you have to kind of set your time on how much you can do the things that you can kind of sink into. For example, when I used to play World of Warcraft, I could use it as a game that I could just spend hours and hours, and I wasn't even that good. But at the same time, I felt like I could just put my mind at ease and do the thing in the game. Just focus on leveling the fishing or whatever. And that was the thing, that I could sit there too long and forget about other things, because the whole point was to just relax and think about other things, but at the same time you shouldn't be changing the whole thing of living your real life in the things that you do in the virtual life. Just my opinion, because there's many important things going on in the real life, and if you just let it go and play games all the time, you kind of lose friendships, or I don't know, it affects your work or social things. And the other thing that I was thinking about the communities and stuff, it's that there is those Discords, and I think there is other services that those weren't so easily available. For example, if you wanted to play with somebody, there was always a bring the computer to LAN event or something, and or bring people into the same place. And we have this, I don't know what's it called, a zero cable, that you could play Doom or Duke Nukem or something with 2 computers only. I know that already was great. But now, of course, there's whole conversations about toxic communities on games and stuff, so different problems. But the point being that you couldn't just pick up your computer and play with thousands of people. You could maybe pick up the computer and play with few hundred people in a big event, or maybe dozen people in somebody's home, or couple people in somebody's home. But it was different. I think about those days fondly, but at the same time, the rational mind says that they weren't all that great. There was a lot of things that weren't that great. I don't know, will I make a video about what is it like to play in your 50s, but let's see. I still enjoy the gaming, and I consider myself a very casual, like player that plays every now and then. But at the same time, if I play something like the World of Warcraft, I know that I can sink many hours on it. So I have to be careful on that. Thank you.